Hey guys, welcome back. So, ready for a new project?
It's not new.
Well, it's new to you guys.
Yeah, they haven't. They've seen it a lot.
Yeah.
But they've never seen it run.
Remember how we dug the willies out of the corner? There's a new one to dig out of the corner. But first, let's give an update on the willies. All right, so Meg left us. She's currently with Nolan at No Prep Kings. So, you're back to iPhone videos and no mics.
I like it.
Yeah, sorry if it's bad.
Mics suck.
We do have mics.
Mics suck. That mic doesn't suck.
No, we'll use him in a minute. Anyways, so Willie's update here. So since you guys saw it, we said we were going to clean it, and then the rainstorm and hailstorm of randomness came.
It did. It hailed that day.
It did. And so the Willies got cleaned up after. You spent a week on. I was at Hot Rod Garage. I think you spent like a week on cleaning it up.
It literally took a week, man. I can't believe you can have a car sitting inside and it'll go to the toilet. It's like turns into earth again.
Well, to be fair, that was before you had this thing called air conditioning, so it was sitting in an open door. So, yeah.
It did. Well, not always. Part of the day. It never had sun.
I was just saying you got air conditioning.
Yeah. Now it's in climate-controlled garage. It's going to be good forever.
Yeah. Anyways, look at it. It really cleaned up. It's very shiny. It looks like a totally different color now that it's polished and buffed. And look at that.
Look inside. I mean, it's candy apple blue. My favorite color in the whole world.
Yeah.
So like a Schwinn Stingray in that color is the coolest thing ever.
Well, you got a Willys in that color.
I know. I don't have the Stingray. My Stingray's red, and I don't like red.
That's fair. So, very cleaned up, very good. You can even see all the chrome. Looks
See the wax in the chrome?
Oh, I
Don't show that.
wasn't showing
I
that.
thought that's what you were showing.
No. And then inside looks good. It's cleaned up a lot. The blower is nice and polished and cleaned up. And all the dust that was growing under here. See? It's
The
shiny and
wheels are
clean.
polished. The headlight rings are polished. Firewall. Mike and Debbie polished on the firewall. It's not perfect, but it
Dang.
never was.
Look at that.
It's
very
really
nice.
good. Look at the frame.
Yeah.
We could plant seeds on that frame.
Yeah,
before.
it was nasty. Yeah. So, update on this as far as other than being cleaned, we've got parts ordered, stuff is happening. Gearstar is building a transmission for this currently, a power glide for it. Quick Performance is putting a third member together for it. So
and we have our Iski stuff.
And we got our hey, yeah, we'll cut Nolan some slack. He got that pretty quick.
Yeah, we did say on that last video that there won't be. Hey, but that's the cam that was in it. He reground it, and I haven't received my new cam yet. He's sending us two. That's the big one. Nolan, where's that core that you said you had?
You look like
it's not here.
You look like Mr. Wilson.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing. Anyways, yeah, so, but we've got stuff. So, Willie's doing good. We got two of the big pieces, third member, transmission, big stuff out of the way. And anyways, that leads us to the 55 now. So we'll get back to this later.
Yeah.
Okay. The one thing Dad did ask is, does it make sense to jump around like this in projects? But the reality is it just is what it is. Because that's how much time it takes. It takes time to get stuff.
Parts are so hard to get.
Yeah, we were actually ordering parts for the Land Speed Camaro that we talked about that we're doing with Freiberger and Turk's car, but Turk is helping plan it out, and we were looking at parts today.
When did you talk about that?
Oh, one of these last videos.
Oh.
You were in it too.
Okay.
Yeah, he forgot. Anyways, it's 55 time, and this is now where we get to utilize Mike.
Mike.
Yes, sir.
What are we doing, Mike?
Oh, we're just going to have him help.
What's my job?
Oh, we're going to move and clean and...
Oh, okay. I'll be the sweeper. I can
Be the
sweep.
duster.
Yeah, I can dust it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
It's on
Onwards.
jack stands. We gotta do something. I don't know. We gotta lift.
And we're supposed to be cleaning up.
Yes. All right. So, very rudimentary stuff here. We got a tripod. We got a couple mics. Three mics. That mic's not Mike, so just imagine what he's saying. You're going to have to yell. Maybe once in a while, Mom will pick up the camera. But for now, we're going to tell you the history of the car and move all this stuff.
Oh my goodness, that's leather. That's heavy.
So, where would you like to start?
Where'd I like to start about what?
Oh, the history, you know.
So I bought this thing off of Facebook, I think. Like, was it Facebook? eBay, maybe. And it was just a shell. Anyway, that chassis was under the Nomad that we're building for Tom. So back years ago, you should insert a picture of the Nomad.
Right here.
So that chassis was under a 55 Nomad. It's pretty cool. But I wanted a 55 postcard gasser, so we bought this body and put new floors in it, redid it. It's all really nice. And I used it, or I raced it. Had a 580, I think. I think it had like a 540 or something to start with, and then, no, 522, I think. And then I went to a 580, tunnel around big block, turbo 400. We raced it. I think it ran 930s or something with carburetors. And then we took it on drag week with a blower, and I hurt the motor.
Yes.
And I think that's where it's set since. Is that right?
There's a common theme. Did this motor actually get hurt, or is there a piece of dog food in there?
No, this one got hurt. What
This
did I do?
motor actually,
Well, because it was blown,
well,
and we tried to turn it up.
This motor actually has a lot. This car, in particular, has caused a lot of very late, very painful, sleepless nights, but lots of good drag week style stories. Remember
Well,
that one time you had the pistons out of it, and the pistons and rods, and we drove to Jared Scott's and we had to put them in there?
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So basically,
that was for drag week.
It
No,
was.
wait, was that drag week?
yeah,
that was drag
he
week.
hurt the motor testing it, and we had to be at drag week, so somehow miraculously came up with pistons.
How did we do that?
I think you had them made.
I think
Oh, Dane from Bill Miller.
is he the one that made those
When he
pistons?
was at Bill Miller, yeah.
And I think I had to get different rods for some reason, and then Manly, we got the Manly rods.
So we took it with the block just in the car and buckets, kind of a 55 thing.
It's like everything we do is like that.
Yeah, and it's a bug. Gross. And yeah, drove it up there and had like a very long night. Put them all in the next day, and then made it to tech the day after that. And this was like a, I don't know, 2-day turnaround on everything. Mom would like to insert here that this was after 2 nights of no sleep. We used to have really long nights.
You know what? I blocked that from my memory
See,
bank.
that's why sometimes when he's like, we don't know what we're doing, it has taken, we have gotten a lot better. We have a lot less sleepless nights.
We do. I was thinking about race week earlier. Remember when we would spend all race week and we'd only eat potato chips? Yeah. Because we couldn't make it
We
to
get
even to a
steaks now.
McDonald's.
Guys, we're doing better. He doesn't remember it because he forgets 37 seconds
I
after.
avoid remembering.
However, we are doing considerably better because we had a lot of long nights. But anyways, this went on drag week multiple times. You're going to see some stuff that we're doing in this video where we're going to address
No,
some...
this didn't go multiple times.
Yeah, it did.
Didn't it go once? Did it go twice?
Yeah. Yeah.
What the heck? So when we did Jared's, it must have been, was it naturally aspirated? Because I took it with a blower.
Wait. You might have only went once.
No, it went twice.
15, I think, was the only time it went. No, maybe not. I don't remember what year it went.
The wheels, that was just the only year you ran.
Did it have the blower? I had the blower when we bent the wheels.
Yes, it's only went one time.
So she forgets. Huh?
That was the night.
That was the year I broke, remember? Because I rode in the back.
The year
It was
that-
my brand new LS, and I shattered valve springs in the Camaro.
Was that the year Jim went with me and we drove? Or did Jake go
That
one
was
year?
when Jim went with you.
So it only went once.
Okay, guys, so the way this went down was the Ranchero went, the Ranchero went once?
Once.
That's back when Dad...
Well, once with us, and then once we loaned it out.
Let's get the story right. So this is back when Dad thought every drag week a new car had to be built.
I like to keep things interesting.
So the Ranchero went for 1 year. That's one that Jared Scott owns now. Then the 55 went for 1 year. And then he built the Nova, and it went for multiple years. But you raced this multiple years. But when he went to drag week with it, that was the year that I hurt my brand new LS motor in my Camaro, shattered valve springs. I rode in the back seat because Jim Fissel rode as passenger. It was blown. You hurt the motor before we got there. Yeah?
How did I do that? I don't
We were
remember.
testing, and you melted pistons.
So the deal that it had a 671, no 871, but it was Teflon and everything else. We had no time to test really.
Yeah.
And we had all the injectors above the blower and under the the
Yeah.
injector.
Yep.
And somehow the way we had lean cylinders and we just
Yeah.
didn't have the knowledge or the time to work that out.
Yeah. So we fixed it the night before and then took it out and then ran a couple. I hurt my motor, had to put the car in the trailer. I rode with you guys. We went out. You ran a couple good passes.
Oh, I ran some good passes until
some
like
good
day
passes.
3 or 4.
And then did a wheelie like
It was
this.
like your fault because I asked you to turn it up.
He did. Actually, what happened was he said, turn it up. And I said, maybe you should try keeping your foot in the throttle. Remember?
How would I keep my foot in the throttle with the front wheels off the ground?
Not when you did a wheelie. Before that, remember it was a combination because I was like, hey, the data's saying.
Meg, cut this because that's crap.
Keep that because
No,
it's true.
that's wrong.
It's true.
No.
It's true.
No.
If you go back to the data, it very clearly, I remember this now. You're like, hey, we should turn
I
this
never
up.
lift.
You did.
I didn't.
He did.
Anyway, on the next pass, the one that ruined it, because I ran my best pass ever. It was a 9.0
Yeah.
something.
And then I turned it up and he actually kept his foot in and the combination of that led to a wheelie like this and a crash like that.
All 4 wheels were off the ground.
Yeah. But it bent the spindles and it was sitting there all sad. We backed it up, fixed it that night.
It bent the wheels to the point that it just turned them into flower petals.
So we
around
got
the edge.
wheels, got spindles from
Some
Greg
some guy at
Hurlbutt.
Drag Week said, "Hey, I got some wheels like that."
Yep.
And they're like 5 miles down the road, and he brought them,
Yep.
and we pulled them off with screwdrivers and put them on and
Yeah.
finished the week. It didn't even hurt the
We
brand new
actually
tires.
had wheels for it before it was off the track.
Yep.
Remember? So
Exactly.
anyways, we're starting to remember now. So anyways, and then the next day we went out and then you melted pistons again.
Again?
That's why it's parked.
Yeah, that's
Byron.
when we turned it up the next day.
Yeah, again. Turned it
Yeah.
up again. So anyways, long story
Well, the
short.
reason being is we put like the smallest blower pulley man nose on the top to try to get more boost. All we were making is more hot air,
Yeah.
and it just didn't like it.
And Byron, we just have I love that track.
Byron.
I love the people there. I love the track, but we have a bad track record.
So I got a message the other day from Tom Thompson that lives there. Remember
Yes, I do.
when the gas tank broke and we went across
Yeah.
the road and welded? So we broke gas tanks. We've melted motors there like twice.
Melted motors.
Yeah.
Melted
so
motors.
Brian, Tom messaged me and he said, "Are you coming back to Brian?" I said, "Unfortunately,
Byron, yeah.
yes." Byron.
Yeah.
And he says, "I know you guys have had." I said, "We got to go back and redeem ourselves because every time we go, we hurt something."
Yeah. When I was pointing that way, that's because the 55 is sitting over there, and we melted it twice. Anyways, we gotta get back to work. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys.
No, it don't make sense to me.
He's confused, but it has since sat and parked.
Hey, tire error upper. Look at the front.
Silly Mike.
We're going to roll this thing out and see what it looks like. It's not been moved in how many years?
It's been forever.
Help me.
I don't know.
We took the motor out of it. I put it in my Nova. Is that right?
No, I don't know.
What did I put it in, Debbie?
I think you just took it out because you're gonna fix it. The
No.
Yeah.
I put it in the Nova, and we took it down to Tommy Keeter's. And remember, it failed to hook up the...
Yeah.
Somebody failed, not me. Maybe
Not
not
me.
you. I don't know. Somebody failed to hook up the vacuum reference or
That's
the
what
boost
it was,
reference,
yeah.
and we melted the motor. But it was in the Nova.
Oh, I
and
remember that.
It made 2,448 horsepower on E85 non-intercooled.
Ooh, gross.
What?
E85.
Yeah,
That
but-
was we went through a weird time.
So that thing's been sitting there since 15.
You're right.
I think 15. Whenever 16 maybe. So
You know what?
16. What is this? Like 28 or
24?
something? How many years is that?
Eight.
8 years. So that was 11 and this is 8.
Wow, guys, it is time to do something with this. So
Time to
there's
get
a couple
my junk
things.
back together.
Yeah, a couple things we got to fix on this. One is bent spindles because it still has bent spindles because it bent them again.
Okay, so we need to tell about that.
I
She says
told
you don't want to
guys.
hear this,
I
but I'm
told you
telling
guys that we were gonna make this a 5-minute intro, and here we are. This is probably like 12 minutes.
So
Megs,
the day that
hang
we
on.
bent those spindles, they're like this.
Yeah.
And we had an aluminum jack handle that's still here on a jack.
Yeah.
And
And it's welded now.
what was the guy's name that brought I need to give him credit. Huh? Dugapolowski or something. He was kind enough to go get his truck. It was a welder, and I heated those spindles red hot, and I pushed down on with that
and you
jack
broke
handle.
the handle.
Well, it did break the handle, but we got the spindles bent.
That's true.
But so if you look at the spindle on this side, it goes out and down and up and then back up, and
Yeah.
it's run a lot of miles since then.
Yes. So it has sat since, and stuff has been sitting for quite some time here, and we're fixing that now, just like the Willys. So this is going to have a new motor. We're not going to go through that. We know what happened to it. It's been long torn apart. Obviously, we've discussed that. And we are going to, there's a quarter panel issue you're going to see.
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. And there's a spindle issue. So in this video, you're going to see spindles. You're going to see quarter panel fixed. You're going to see it get cleaned up.
And quarter panel.
We'll talk about that later, Mike.
Seems like I remember.
We're going back with
Is there a mouse in your pocket? Oh.
Two 1050s on a tunnel ram like it used to have, and it was so much fun.
Okay.
Because it would wheelie 70, 80 feet every time.
We'll get to what happened shortly.
It was Jim Fissel's fault.
It was your fault.
No, it was Jim's fault.
You blamed it on me.
Well, it was your fault.
It wasn't my fault.
Or
See,
Jim
you
Fissel's
forgot.
fault. It wasn't mine. I know that much.
I got in trouble for it. I know
Okay.
that. I wasn't
Well,
even
you
in the
probably
car.
did.
I got in trouble. I wasn't even in the car. Anyways, also, when I started to say that this was supposed to be 5 minutes, usually Meg's here to tell us to stop talking. And there's a tripod.
They don't care.
Sorry, guys. All right, out with this. I should probably make sure the mics are working. Cut. If we have to redo all this.
We got to make... Do we?
I don't know.
We have to redo everything.
No, I'm saying I'm going to make sure we don't have to.
Test, 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 test.
Well, it's still recording.
Test testing and yeah.
Real quick, right here, dude. So, real quick side note, when I cut that, Dad said, we sound like we heard a lot of motors. And we have heard a lot of motors. However, go ahead.
How would you hurt motor? If you're not hurting motors, you're not pushing yourself or
Every
your
time
motors.
we've heard a motor, well, there's exceptions.
Sometimes they hurt themselves.
Sometimes they hurt themselves.
Like valve springs shattering.
Yeah.
That was the
Sometimes they
old
hurt
days.
themselves. But oftentimes it's because we're pushing it. So
We always push.
if you break stuff in a pursuit of speed, that's okay. If you
And then,
break
like, what was his name? The Australian dude, the cool guy?
Burt Monroe,
Burt Monroe. He has the offerings to the gods of speed, right?
yeah, we have plenty of those.
Yeah. But it's because for me and you,
Yeah.
very competitive, every time slip we get needs to have a less number on it.
He is very guilty of that.
I mean, if it's not going faster, then I do not want to be there.
I am
I've got
guilty.
other things to do.
He is guiltier. We've
We've got a
Anyways,
lake to go to.
Yes. So long story short, we do hurt motors in pursuit of speed. If you hurt motors doing something lame, that's a different story. Different
Like
story.
850 car.
That was mean.
I don't have shocks on this. Somebody borrowed the shocks and never returned them.
Who did that?
What are we going to do about that?
I don't know.
Well, I would say that this is where you go cut, and I got to make some struts.
I just started
It's like he's
recording.
jacking it up, and it's like, wait a minute, this is a gasser. It's not supposed to go
They
that
said
low.
idle. If they said idle, parts get stole.
That's true. What had happened was Mike aired the tire up and didn't take it off the jacks.
I didn't read the script.
And I forgot that we stole the shocks. I don't remember. I think they're under that stupid thing over there.
What stupid thing?
That Dodge.
Oh, the Dodge?
I think.
Okay.
I might have shocks somewhere. I need to look.
No one can hear me unless I yell. No, it's okay. Keep your mic.
I'm going to go look in the parts and see if there might be a box of shocks, but I don't know.
Until then, goodbye.
How much you put in those?
It's hanging all the way down. I don't know.
How's it going?
We're about ready to jack it down.
So you stole some shocks from the shelf?
Yeah. So you know what I was just thinking? I've been thinking about my Volkswagen Air Ride.
Yeah.
This may be the front. It
Oh,
could be
nice.
the rear.
See
too.
the shocks?
These are just sitting here doing nothing. They're really nice. They're ride techs.
Yeah.
So I think I just found a home for them.
Oh, how perfect.
I love it when I plant houses.
Poor. How did you get the creeper and Mike got the dirt?
Well, I gave him a creeper. He wasn't getting the job done fast enough, so
He grabbed it.
I got the creeper. Now I'm just kind of enjoying it because it's got a headrest.
I can see that.
It feels pretty good. How much they got in them? That's only 40 pounds. That's 85 pounds. You can let it down. Let it down and I'll tomorrow. No, don't get it. It is dirty under here. Who's going to be the one that has to lay under here and fix it? You know what? I think they're extended all the way.
I think they are too.
All right, and we are back in action. Right here. Yeah, we got shocks on.
Well, there's no shock to it. In order to get it to set, and it needs to come up like another 1.5 inches maybe, but the shocks are all the way.
Yeah.
So they're just on there to roll it.
Temporary resource.
You know, I don't like it because it's got the Carolina squat. Look at it, it's gross. This car's supposed to set level
Okay.
or down just a little in the front.
Okay. That's okay.
It looks like Carolina squat.
It won't look like that forever.
Okay, Mike.
Hang on, I gotta get a time lapse going. We have one cameraman. Hang on. Okay. Start the complaint.
Well, I'm really bothered. I can't stand that lower in the back than in the front look.
It's temporary.
It never looked like that.
It's temporary.
I know. So it needs bigger tires. Those are just old slicks that I had.
Yeah.
It needs bigger tires. It needs a motor to drop the front a little bit.
Correct.
It needs longer shocks to raise the back.
Also correct. Now let's come over here. Mike, I think this would be a good story time for you as well.
Oh.
Yeah. So since he's blaming me for stuff, what happened? You guys see that? You guys see that?
Who's telling this?
Aw, I mean, we can get two versions of the story.
Well, I don't really remember the exact story. That's what I was saying. I don't know who to blame.
I
I can
remember.
tell you the exact story, and you guys can be the judge. Would you like to tell your version first?
You're going to tell yours?
No, you can tell yours first.
So it was real late, and it was at, what's the name of that racetrack?
Can't help you with your story.
What's the name of that racetrack? It was a racetrack that we like, where we hurt the motor.
Cordova.
Cordova's a nice track. But we're way out there in the grass, remember? That was the first day of drag week. So we're out there in the grass and we're unloading everything. And I don't know why you say it has something to do with you. You don't have to have something to do with everything.
I am so glad you said that.
This
Go
has
ahead.
nothing to do with you. It's not all about you.
And now a minute ago, now wait a minute here.
This
No.
is exactly what I need.
Let me tell the story.
Go ahead.
So we unload everything out of the trailers, and we had my drag week trailer, which was only this tall. I made it where I could look out the back window over it, so I couldn't see it behind the car, because this
Yes.
thing's like a nosebleed old school car.
Yeah.
And I hooked the trailer up, and I think it was Hank Kronk.
Yes.
We were looking for him because we were going to leave, I think.
Because
Correct.
He didn't get the pre-register, so we were waiting.
Don't help him too much. Go ahead.
So I jumped in the car with Jim,
Yes, you
and we
did.
went down into the staging lanes. You know, Cordova's got that really nice staging lane, but there's a tree right in the middle. Remember that?
So far, this is correct.
So I go down and I make a loop. Well, Hank wasn't down there. I make a loop and I come back out and I go back to the pit where we parked the trailer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's not down there. Well, for whatever reason, sometime a few minutes later, I decided I need to go back down there and find him. He had to be down there. So Jim and I jump in the car. We drive down there. Well, this time somebody parked. I couldn't go in and make a U-turn like I did, and I forgot the trailer was back there. And I go in and I turn around and it was black. They turned all the lights out. And we pull up and it's like, oh crap, I can't make it through there. Somebody parked there in that amount of time. So I just pushed the button and backed up, and I feel,
Yes, I remember.
forgot there was a
I
trailer.
remember watching this.
you
Now,
weren't watching it. You were over there.
no. Okay, so mom was with me, and this story is actually very accurate. Actually, it was almost incredibly accurate, except we were over there, and I got in really big trouble because he somehow blamed me for the story
What
that you
did
just.
you do? I don't remember that part. If I blamed you, you had something to do with
We
it.
went over there to find Hank, and we were over there waiting, and you decided to follow us
Unasked.
and ask. And you said that we whipped in there so fast and all that. And
Oh, that's right. You were in the Camaro.
We were in the
and I was
Camaro
following
waiting on-
you.
But I did not have anything.
If you hadn't have went in there, I wouldn't have
we
followed
went to
you.
get our people.
And I got.
So I wasn't looking for Hank. You guys were. We thought we were leaving, and I was following you goobers, and you got in there where I couldn't make a U-turn, and I backed up, and the trailer was, I couldn't see it, and it was black and dark.
We weren't in the way.
And I wasn't used to pulling a trailer behind a race car.
So long story short, we have the same story, but in this version,
But it was her fault.
it's not my fault.
It was. I forgot that part.
I just got redemption.
Witness number 1 has cleared Alex.
No, she didn't.
You said she did.
She incriminated Alex.
No, I
'cause
didn't.
I had it where it's just mine and Jim's fault.
Jim who?
Thistle.
Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
But anyway, whatever. When I backed up, I pushed that button. This thing's radical, and it backed up, and it.
Rabbit.
And actually, I was yelling. I was like, "Oh, he's about to back! He's about to back!" And you just did it.
There was a whole.
Do you have a
bunch of-
horn?
So what it was is all of the people that didn't get registered for Drag Week were like 20 foot away and watched
But
this.
guess what? We were one of them.
One of what?
No, we didn't get pre-registered, did we?
That is a very minor part of the story, but I do not remember
But,
that.
well, that might not be the year. But remember, we jinxed it. What? How do we jinx our stuff? What do we say we're going to do that night?
Oh, we were gonna get dinner. We were gonna
So
get
that
dinner.
night we spent the night. When it kinked that quarter panel, which ruined my beautiful car, the trailer just went right into it. It also bent the wheel under the trailer. When I pulled forward, the tire's laying like this. It
Yeah.
bent the axle spindle so bad the tire was laying like this. So we had no torches or anything. We thought we were done right there. So we ended up towing it to somebody's house. It was fairly close.
Yep.
With a tire like this.
Yeah.
That's what broke the handle on the jack because it was aluminum. We put it on that and tried to bend it back.
And I remember doing homework while you guys fixed it. I fell asleep in the Camaro.
No, you remember there's another part of the story that was pretty interesting.
I don't remember.
So it ruined the bearings and everything in the hub. You guys had to go get bearings.
Oh, and
And we did not air up our tires
yeah.
after making test passes, and
So
we
you-
got on the interstate going like
With 3 pounds.
sideways.
She called. You guys called the parts store and they wouldn't wait for you.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you said, if we pay for them with a credit card, would you leave them outside? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So you had to drive 110 miles an hour
Watching for
The
deer.
legal
to
speed limit.
get there.
On low tires.
And when you got there, the guy says, "Oh, you're Alex Taylor," and he talked for 15 minutes.
Because
Yeah.
he was going to be in a store. He's transferring to Arkansas, so he wanted to be our friend at that point. But we said it was too late.
He wouldn't
Yeah.
wait 2 minutes for you.
So, anyways, you guys can be the judge. You guys can be the judge. But with that said, we're already at a 30-minute video. Sorry. Anyways, with that said, this has to be repaired. So this week, Dad is going to repair this, and I'm going to fix spindles. And all of us, see how I did that, are gonna clean it up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. To actual work now. Okay. Dad and I are real time. We can't hear Mike and Mom, but that's okay. You guys know it's really hard to be the cameraman, the worker.
She just figured out that the real worker is the camera guy, not the, what do you call your guys? Talent, not the talent.
Yeah.
It's the grip and the PA.
Sorry, Wiley.
Yeah.
We have a thing on the show, waiting on Wiley. Now we're waiting on Alex. Anyways.
Dude. Look at he's all posed for the camera.
Oh, I told him.
He backs his truck up into my garage.
I told him. Okay. I told him what to do.
Okay. There's a lot. You guys remember how there was a lot of junk in the Willies? Well, there's a lot of junk in here. Look,
Man,
it's
there is a lot of junk. I'm going to start by getting rid of all these bags. You'll have to edit this because they don't want to see me popping bags.
somebody will like the sound of that. Hey, do you remember that this got the window moldings for this got robbed for the 55?
Yes, I do.
And you remember when we blew the doors off?
Do I remember what?
When we blew the doors off,
Yeah,
we hurt the moldings for the 55?
yeah.
Yeah.
So you have my moldings on the 55, the other 55, and I have no moldings.
Very sorry.
And so Gary Reinhardt was supposed to get me a set of moldings. He said, "No hurry now because you got another set." I said, "Well, yeah, but you know, I really want those that you have."
And?
But there's still no hurry. So that's what happens if you don't do stuff at the moment, it doesn't ever get done. So I got to call Gary Reinhardt and ask him for those moldings. We don't need these 4 things, right? Or do you want them?
I don't know.
They're kind of nice.
Well, you can save them.
Where are you gonna put them?
I don't know. Where should I put them? We'll move them later. Hey. They got something in it?
No, it's empty. Here's this.
Dude, I don't want to bend over and
Here's
pick
this.
up your trash. Okay, so
That was good.
this is my what? Is this my 20?
Nah.
This is a 20. Yep, this is a good suit. This is a nitro suit. I could race nitro with that. I could race nitro with my 20 suit and my SFI collar.
Yeah, that doesn't work out. There you go. You know what? We could put all the 4th of July stuff back in the back of this when it's clean.
Well, that stuff could all be used.
Yeah, but I'm saying we could stick it back in the back. There's a lot of empty boxes.
That was this is shipping central.
Yeah, this is the shipping department.
I'm gonna save this foam. Look, they got their job done and we haven't even got the trash out of this yet.
You know what? That means they can have another job. You guys want to start cleaning?
Okay, so these are like bad shirts, right?
Well, look at
Mike would probably wear it for, that's a medium. He
Look at
can't
the
wear
back of
medium.
it.
See a
Is it
medium?
centered or not?
It don't look bad from here.
Okay, some of them are still good.
This is large. You wear large? Look,
That's yours now.
it's brand new, but the thing was crooked or something.
It might be.
Might be, it might not be.
Some of
Okay, here's a trek to our drag week 2017.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Byron,
How would you like this cleaned up, Dad?
Great Lakes. You didn't make it to Great Lakes.
What? What?
You want to clean this with like a wet rag?
It needs to be blown probably and then, or dusted, feather dusted. Look at all this stuff. Oh, this is that
Oh.
timeline banner.
Yeah. From the other
This is,
55.
where Dad broke.
You don't have to say it like that.
Well, you did. And we went on, we went on the Great Lakes Spur, so
How? I was good.
there's different,
Oh.
different ways.
Okay, feather duster.
Okay, there's parts in there that need to go upstairs.
I'll take the springs.
And there's valve covers and,
What a door.
oh, nice. 880,
Oh, you did run 8s in this.
What year does it say?
17.
Okay, that paper I just threw away was from this. So we didn't make it to Great Lakes that year.
No.
We did one year.
So I think I was going for an 850 or something.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, that's not, I'm gonna keep that. So that was the first
Push it all the way
8s
up
in a gasser.
Oh, that's what that
This
was.
is the year you won the gear vendor?
No, I didn't win a gear vendor.
I thought you did.
No, the year that she went, they gave us her first year, 13 or whatever. They gave her a certificate for 10% off or something.
What gear vendor did I?
You got the certificate. We bought the gear vendor with that certificate.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you
we
got,
did-
I thought it was a something you won.
I might fix it when we get finished cleaning up. Look, I got one molding.
Yeah.
This one went flying through the air.
That's a fast molding. You should put it in here. You might be fast.
Maybe my car will learn from it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna find some screws and put that molding on.
Hey, it's almost the 1-year anniversary of the doors blowing off.
Yeah.
That was a miserable year.
No, because we were only 2 weeks out from Chicago. Okay, so this had EFI on it before. Couldn't remember if it still had everything, but look at it.
Got a whole harness. It just needs it's not got a dominator, does it?
No.
Too bad.
Yeah, so it's got the harness and everything already in there. And then it's got the mount for the little bitty baby dash that it used to have. And
Yeah, those
then-
used to be high tech.
Yeah. So, it was pretty nice. I rode back here for all the drag week.
It was actually fun on drag week. This car would have been good if we just hadn't got greedy and turned it up.
Yeah. What was that
And
pass
it
you
ran
found?
880.
You found an 880 slip, yeah.
Yeah, I forgot. Well, I was trying to get an 850. I think it ran 870 or 860 because we
Yeah.
went back to go get an 850.
And that's when you put the
That's
pulley
when
on.
that's when I put the pulley on it, and it did the wheel stand, and the next day we heard it. That at the time was the fastest gasser pass drag week ever had.
This is the wheel stand day.
That's wheel stand day.
You know, it almost makes me want to go more power.
Oh, jeez.
Go 8s. Because if we put the carburetors back on, it's going to go 9s.
We can figure this out.
What could we do?
We'll think about that.
We'd have to get a blower. I mean, we can put a blower on it in EFI. There's no problem. It's already got all that stuff set up.
Okay. I'm okay with that. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Find something.
Makes me want to go
Figure it out.
faster.
If you guys have an opinion, let me know. Let me know. Leave it in the comments. Okay. The more he's standing here talking, he's remembering that he likes this car.
I've, like, for the last, how many years? 8?
Yeah.
All I want to do is get it out of my life.
Sell it.
You
That's
can
all he
confirm.
talks about, just selling it.
Yeah?
He's gonna fix it
I do that for years, right?
Yeah.
It's not like new. I don't want it. I'm tired of it. But if we put a blower back in it with the EFI back on it, I might want to go 850s. It's only good to 850.
I think he forgot how much he likes it.
Well, I liked it a lot for a while, and then I got over it.
No, this is yours.
Oh,
Mike and I are sharing a mic right now, but go
Mike
ahead.
and Mike.
Mike and Mike.
Look
I
at
think
the-
you ought to do it.
Look, watch. Would you just look at that?
Would you
Would you
just
just
look
look
at
at
that?
I'm looking at it.
it? Watch. Look at it. Oh my goodness. Look at Would you look at that?
Would you just look at that? Would you just look at
What? No
that?
way.
No way. Gotta have a mullet.
Skull it.
A skullet.
So basically, I think the more he looks at
I
it,
think we're on go.
I
Yep.
think he wants to keep it.
Well, I'm not saying that, but I would like, if we're going to do it, we might as well do it good.
We both know.
It went
What's
8.
gonna happen?
It never made 850s. That was, now I'm remembering. It never went 850. It went 860s or something. So I want to go back and do 850.
Okay, that's the plan.
Okay, you guys heard it here first.
Today.
Wow, we
What is
need-
today?
It is April 17th.
Yep, you heard
It's
it.
not April 1st.
Nope.
So here's
Not
the
a
thing.
fool.
My prediction is that if we go out and run a blower and run 850s or 60s, whatever, it's going to be so much fun that you're going to want it, and I'll sell it to you.
It can sit over there in her shop. It'd look good over there.
just let me sell it to me.
she can buy it.
Yeah.
She's got first dibs.
Can you make payments?
Yeah.
I know.
No, I want. I
70
only want
months,
one
72
payment.
months? What interest? Whatever.
Just one payment.
Well,
That way she doesn't have interest.
Okay. We are actually getting underway with work now.
We're always underway with work.
Well,
Getting underway with work on
this work.
that dinosaur.
This dinosaur. So, while Dad is back here sanding Bondo.
Not necessarily Bondo paint.
Well,
A
sorry.
little bit of Bondo.
That wasn't fair to say.
Thin.
Let me give you a chance to say that. So when he did these flares, they have to have Bondo to fill it out, right?
Well, I don't remember. The quarter panels are really good. There's a little mud right here, but I guess maybe to make them straight, it's got a little thin layer, but I'm going to hammer that out.
Okay, so he's gonna straighten it out, sand the paint, the little bit of Bondo down. There's not Bondo up here. So sand that all down and then hammer it out, get it straight. Got a lot of prepping there to get that nice. Because the car, other than that, it's pretty straight.
It's very straight. It's like one of the straightest there is. I wish our other cars were this straight.
It really is straight. And being a dark color, you can look from the other side. It looks good. So you gotta get this side matching that. And then while he's doing that, I'm going to work on spindles.
And the thing is, this car, you see the Bondo. The rest of it, those doors are like perfect. These are such good doors. Listen to that. Everything. The quarter panels were actually the best quarter panels that I've ever seen.
And
But I cut them up and ruined them, made a gasser out of it.
that's almost harsh.
It was bad.
That probably would hurt. You guys thought we hurt feelings when we did the 55. Cutting up a nice one, that's a different
Cutting
story.
up a nice quarter panel. It wasn't a nice car. When I got this as a roof and 2 quarter panels, I could walk through here. There was nothing in here, all the way out the back. No rear apron, nothing.
It really,
quarter panels flopping like this.
really came along nicely.
It did.
So Dad's gonna do this. Mom is gonna start polishing. Dad polished just a little spot yesterday, barely, just for like a minute. You just barely hit it. Already so much better than right there. So she's gonna polish chrome. I'm gonna work on spindles, and then out very nice.
Yep. I got to skim coat it now. So the beauty is there's no oil can, which that's always what you worry about when you bend metal in so far and then pop it back out. Is you'll have a pump, pump, oil can. No oil can, everything's solid. So I'm going to skim coat it, get it masked up, get some primer on it, start boarding it, and try to get some paint on it.
It's doing better or coming out quicker than you thought it was going to, right?
Oh, probably the thing that's going to be the bad part is matching this paint, because I've repainted, like I had a steel trunk lid on it at one time, and I made this glass one and put on. They don't match, so I don't know. My paint is old that I'm going to be using,
so it'll be kind
so
of.
I'm going to blend it, which
doesn't sound
I hate
fun.
doing.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
No,
but it's better than what it was.
it looks better right now.
Yeah,
we could drive it like this.
So, coincidentally enough, let me flip this around just a second. Coincidentally enough, you mentioned when we got done with the last video where we checked in, you're like, that is where it happened to be the area where there was the most Bondo out of all of it.
I think, trying to remember what this quarter panel was like, they were good, and I was thinking they were like really good, but I think this one had some damage to it to start with, because I found signs of that when I started going. But naturally, right there is the divider for the wheel tub. That's where it goes. When I reach inside, you can...
Oh, so you can't hammer.
Well, it's hard to hammer, but that's also caused the thing to be really goofy. So, and when I cut this all loose, I don't remember the whole story, but there's that panel is, I just welded it to the quarter panel. It kind of floats, so that created a little warp and it had a little Bondo. But yes, see, there's very little Bondo here, thickness, and almost none back here. It was right here, and welding the flare on and everything, it just...
You can see the flare.
I could have hit it pretty much anywhere else and it wouldn't have looked like it had much Bondo, but right there it had a little bit. It wasn't much. When I say much, I'm
that's a
talking
very...
1/8 of an inch or 3/16 right through there.
So you did these, and you were saying yesterday you wish you would have done a little bit bigger.
Well, back at this time I thought it looked good, but like a lot of the cars, they go way up here. But they sit lower too. So when I did this one, and this isn't the tire I did it by, but I don't remember the size, but I rolled the tire up there and scribed around it and then added a couple inches to it. And it's real thick right here, which most people wouldn't think anything about that. This one, I think I did it where I could actually run the chrome if I wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
And most people's, the chrome cut stops and starts again because the quarters raise so high.
Yeah, coincidentally, speaking of sitting high or low, just walked in this morning, the air in the shocks that you put in yesterday had leaked out, so it had a Carolina squat really going on, so they built some struts to stick on this morning.
And I couldn't even look at it. It looks, there's all kinds of opinions and styles with gassers, and that look is 1000% not my look. I can't stand that squatted in the back and jacked up in the front look. It made me feel ill. I almost tasted vomit.
He pretty much did. I mean, we didn't start.
I couldn't wait.
It did not start. So then moving up here, I've got this spindle off, and the new one, old, is ready to go on. But before we do, Dad's gonna give that. Don't let that pin fall out. Gonna give some tech info here, because I asked the question. I was like, no left and right, but how do you know up and down?
So, most of our friends and viewers will already know this.
Let's go to the drawing.
Okay, let's do.
Let's go. Let's take a trip to the chalkboard, also known as the concrete.
We've got 8,000 square feet of chalkboard right here. Where is it?
Right here.
Okay, so when you ask me,
Yes.
when you ask me if they're left, right, up, down, whatever, you were looking at it. This is thicker and this is thinner, and it really isn't much. If it is, it's not noticeable. But if you notice, if the spindle is flat with the world, what's happening with the kingpin? It's angling, right?
Right.
So obviously there would be an up and down. Does that look right?
No.
That looks right. But why it looks is one thing, there's a function to that. So this is a Chevy spindle, and I built axles, and I made that axle. That's a stupid thing. I think it's a 3/8 inch tube, because I bent 2 or 3 axles on that thing. I could get into a whole story about that. I could educate you on axles and why they bend and what have you. But anyway, that's also a 2 3/8 diameter axle instead of a 2-inch like you would buy from Speedway or something. But I wouldn't do a Chevy spindle anymore. I used to do them, and I just wanted to keep things Chevy instead of doing Ford. But Chevy has less kingpin inclination, which is the angle of this kingpin, than like a 37 Ford spindle has, 35 to 40 Ford spindle, which is a common piece. So the reason you would want more inclination, so let's say this is a Chevy. This is the kingpin, this is the axle, this is the tire. So you draw a line through the kingpin and you end up in here somewhere, not in the center of the tire. On a Ford, it's got more inclination, so it comes closer to the center of the tire. And that's all going to depend on your tire width, your wheel offset, and everything else. But when Ford did it, they shot that line to the center of the tire. And you can imagine if that tire's turning left and right, which you're looking at it from the front, but if it's turning, it's going to pivot right there. You know, kind of cool. So if you have this, you have a scrub. You know, the car is actually going to kind of shimmy this way when you turn the steering wheel or you turn a corner, and the tire is going to scrub on the ground where this won't scrub as much. And this all holds true if you had control arms here. Your upper ball joint, your lower ball joint has the same effect as the kingpin does. So this is called kingpin inclination, or KPI if you're one of those. But they also have steering geometry inclination. So if you had independent front suspension, that's what you kind of shoot for when you're designing a front end. So this is Chevrolet 53. And they also, and I know this from experience, they tend to bend easier. And this kingpin is smaller diameter than a Ford kingpin. So that's why I would use Ford to do it again, is go to the bigger diameter, bigger everything, and it's a little bit less prone to bend.
Nice.
It's only if you're doing big, massive wheel stands.
Those are fun.
There's only 2 things in the world that's either go fast or look really good going slow. And usually if you're doing that massive bumper drag, you're probably going slow, you know, relatively speaking.
But you're gonna look
But you're looking
cool.
really bitching.
I do remember when he did the wheelie and it almost took him out of drag week. That is one of the most memorable, like highly photographed, still shared moments is the wheelie.
That's what they say. Nobody remembers the winner, you know, a week later. Nobody cares. And I'm the same way. I forget, you know, we got all those trophies.
Yeah.
But they will remember the wheelie forever. So that people talk about that for years to come.
Okay, before we get too far here with polishing, you can see quite the difference. Granted, there's still some scratches in there that can't be out, but look at the difference. Same. It all looked the same just a second ago. Now, what are you using here?
First off, we discovered this many years ago. You can get it at the hardware store. It's called Neverdoll. And it's just wool. And it's got some kind of formula on it, and you can use it to get like some of the rough stuff off. So I do the whole thing with that. And then we come to Mother's mag and aluminum polish.
That stuff works good. So,
This and a little bit of
little elbow
muscle.
grease.
Yeah, elbow grease. And then you put this.
It's pretty good looking.
Yeah, I've got many hours of polishing. Not
Yeah,
on this.
Not on this yet, but on other things.
Yes. We did this.
So, anyways, it's starting to look much better. So then eventually this will get buffed. There's tons of overspray on this, but just seeing the chrome look like chrome rather than gross.
Yeah, it looks like barnacles on it.
Yeah, pretty much. So she's gonna keep polishing because there's plenty to polish. Dad's getting ready to do Bondo. I'm getting ready to start putting this back together. Gotta clean up rotors and then go to the other side. Do it all again. All right, so since we started this video, you don't even remember the video, do you?
No. This is old news. This car is sitting in my way. I literally started to move it yesterday because I was gonna move the Camaro back here and do body work,
Yeah.
but I decided to wait a couple days. This thing's become an anchor right here.
Well, basically, this video, you don't even know the time has passed, but I'm pretty sure when we started this video, we had on sweatshirts because it was cold.
Yeah.
No, it was when I was going for NPK. So when was
Okay.
that? It's not been that long.
Whatever. Okay, so basically it feels like forever. It's been a month, 2 months, something like that. Long story short, the 55 is better than it was when we pulled it out.
Yeah, a little bit.
No, it's
It was really dirty, and I didn't ever buff it or anything. I just washed it.
yeah.
But I fixed that mess back there, which
Yeah.
it looks bad still, but it's really
So
not.
you guys saw the body work. Basically, this is ready for paint. It would have been painted, but right after he finished this part of it, we went and tested the 55. You don't remember that, but I'm telling you. We went and tested the 55. Then we went to Chicago. Then we went to Sixth Summer. And we've done some stuff in between.
Well, I love that you guys didn't know anything that's happened from the video I just edited till now.
What happened?
Well, just in general, like all the Sixth Summer, the motor,
How
everything.
can we keep up with it? I mean, that's the thing. I don't think about it. It's like I worked on this one day. I just moved my Bondo and sandpaper and stuff. It's literally been sitting there for whatever, a month or two, as you said, in my way. So I walked away from that. Okay, I got to go work on the 55 now. And guess what? A month or two later, we're back here. This is the reason we didn't finish it, because we got busy.
Like you
That's
guys mentioned
all
going to the lake. At least you went to the lake.
Yeah, we went to the lake.
We went to California.
We went to California. I've gone to California a couple times.
I got sick. I mean, it's going 100% wide open throttle all the time. So this is literally ready for primer, not paint. She says paint. It's not ready for paint.
Well, I mean, it's ready for spraying things out of a gun.
That's not paint.
Primer and paint. Okay, if we're gonna be
It's ready
technical.
to put primer on and be block sanded. I mean, the quarter panel's back to straight. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I got a primer and paint. Look, I started masking. I thought about this today. This tape's gonna get so old, it's gonna be that tape that you can't get off.
Yeah.
So I put that on a month or two ago.
Long story short, the 55 is in better situation. It will get primered and painted soon.
It's
At
gonna be
least.
sanded in between.
Oh, good.
And sealed and masked, and then it'll get painted,
know.
and then it'll get sanded and
I
buffed.
don't know if Kevin or Dennis is standing for something.
I don't like simplifying stuff. This is a lot of work. It takes a special artist to do this. And a paint, the way you say, you take a roller and
Okay, so
ready
it's
for
gonna
paint.
get primed and sanded, and all the
Probably
stuff.
prime and sanded
Prime
2 or
and
3
sanded,
times.
and then prime and sand. So prime and sanded, prime and sanded, prime and sanded, sealed. Are you gonna scuff it?
Of course.
Scuffed, painted, or masked, painted. Clear?
I mean, it'll be clear, yeah. 3 or 4 clears and
Clear,
then
clear, clear.
sanded and buffed. So you're
Sand.
talking about. So Nick asked him, "Can you help me spray this front end under this Mustang? It's just the inner fenders and all that. Can you tell me what I need for paint?" I said, "You're about to get the shock of your life. You know, something that people think, hey, you bring my car, I'm going to have this little subframe built on there. Can you paint that while you're at it?" It's like, spray can will work. But to match it to the car paint, I said, well, it's going to take a quart, and that's going to be almost $1,000 because it's red.
Yeah.
And then the hardener, I guess you can buy it by the quart or pint, maybe. I don't know. I've never bought it that way. For us, a gallon of hardener is $1,000.
Yes.
You're going to have $2,000 or $3,000 in materials of paint. So painting's a very big deal anymore.
This
And it'll
is
take
spray.
the same for this. You know, I do this with a pint, but I never buy a pint. Why would I buy a pint? Huh?
So they'll see that at some time.
You're gonna see it sometime. Actually, you may not see it be painted. Either the next time you see this, it'll be being primed, sanded, painted,
Painted,
Sanded,
cleared, buffed, sanded.
and then you'll either see
No.
that
Sanded, buff, wax.
wax,
And then
wax life.
and then we'll call this job that's almost ready for a roller and paint it. We'll call it done at that point. You realize how many hours are in this?
I know it's a lot.
You know, one time, I was thinking about this the other day, somewhere on the fender here, right here on this bump, see this?
Yes.
I had this fender out back and I primered it, one of those primers that you're talking about.
Yeah.
And a friggin' bird came and landed, and you could see its claws into this bridge right here on one side or the other. It's still in there to some degree. I sanded it out, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. This is very time consuming.
How dare he mess up primer.
Well, you got to sand, and then you got paint, buff, sand. It's a big deal. And then we treat it like crap. That's why we like patina.
We actually just did an episode on HRG where we did the Typhoon, and I had to explain that you primer, sand, primer, buff, Bondo. Don't do it in that order. Don't do it in that order. I'm just saying words. We did a whole car. I had to already explain this. I know. The steps are a lot.
Or you could just do like her Volkswagen. She took a can of linseed oil and a rag and wiped it down and said, I like it.
You agreed. You cannot throw me.
Okay, anyways.
But you know what? That's why we like patina, because this is tons of work. But somebody come in and go, can you paint my car? Wait, can you do it for $1,000? Yeah, I can do the door for $1,000.
Hang on. I would like to note, I did not just linseed. I glove, open cap, linseed on rag, wipe, and then came
And
back.
then parked it outside.
No. And then I wiped again.
Every time I walk by, I go like this, and it's still wet.
I know.
You need to wipe it again.
But
Anyways.
in the next video, they'll see said bug.
Yeah, in the next video, you're going to see the bug because we're going up to
It
the
looks
shop.
really good from about 20 yards.
Stop it.
He's a cute little bug.
He does look good.
Well, it is cute, and I like the patina, but you should have left it inside.
You didn't want to drive your truck.
We could have got another truck. We got people.
I said, do you want to drive your truck? He said, no, it might rain. So you left it in the shop. We had to drive the
We
bus.
could have had somebody come get us. Meg's there.
He's guilty in this too.
But
Anyways.
the next video will be a very confusing
In the
video.
next video.
Anyway, stay pretty, be faster, and stay bitching or
We're
something.
not there. We're almost there. In the next video, you're going to see the shop. In the next,
What video?
the one that's coming
What
out.
shop?
My shop.
Why?
We have the skate party.
Oh,
That was like
Yeah.
3 months ago.
yeah. That's a long time ago.
Whatever. So in the next video, you're gonna see the shop and a skate party, and then in that next video,
What's the next video?
what are we gonna see?
I don't know. We're not filming El Mirage,
Yeah, we
are
are.
Oh.
Maybe El Mirage.
Do you have another video ready?
Oh, maybe. Then you've also got. You've got
I don't know what the next video
you got
is.
the Willies coming up.
What do we have with that?
We gotta put it back together, duh.
Okay.
I mean, it's not filmed yet. There's a lot of stuff coming up.
It's your guys' birthday coming up.
Yeah,
I don't even want to celebrate.
but you have to.
No, I don't. I've had too many celebrations. I had California, I had the lake. We've got 4th of July. I'm ready just to go to work. I just want to go to work.
Well,
Let's go!
all right, guys.
As always.
With that said, this is gonna get done. It's got a to-do list. It's got a parts list. But as always, now we
I
sign.
don't remember. Go fast
Be happy. Go fast.
and stay bitchin'.
Stay bitchin'.